Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about everything that went down with Blaire White when she wore her Make America Great Again hat around West Hollywood and Hollywood Boulevard. Okay, so before we get into the video, let's look at today's fan art. So this is today's fan art. One of my favorite things about this one, and that struck me immediately when I saw it, was like the redness of the cheeks and just like how emotive the face is, even if like my eyes are like super dark, which I thought was really cool, and it's a style of drawing that I haven't seen ever. So thank you so much for drawing this. Their link will be in the description, and let's get on with the video. Anyways, so if you don't know what happened, Blaire White conducted a social experiment where she was gonna put a MAGA hat, Make America Great Again hat, in West Hollywood and on the Walk of Fame. And the only point of this social experiment was to wear it. It wasn't like to go up to anyone and be like, oh, Trump, blah, blah, blah. It was literally to just wear it and see how people reacted, especially since West Hollywood is known to be prevalently gay people, or has a lot of gay people, or people of the LGBTQ community, I suppose. And so what happened was quite troubling. Thank God she is safe, but she is one of my favorite YouTubers, so it really fucking pissed me off. She got her hand stomped on to the point where like her nail, like her actual nail, was like ripped off, and she has pictures of it on social media if you follow her. And then she also got alcohol thrown in her face, like some kind of red drink, which must have been terrifying, because if someone threw some random thing at me, I would have been scared it was like acid or something, but maybe I'm just like a crazy bitch. I wanted to talk about it because this seriously bothers me, and it's not because it's a YouTuber that I like only, but it's because we're going back to the whole kind of PC culture, the censorship. Okay, let's just get into it. So I don't care what your political stance is. I really don't care. I don't even know exactly where I stand politically, but the fact remains, if someone is going out simply wearing a piece of clothing, whether it says Bernie Sanders, whether it says Make America Great Again, whether it even said Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, whoever, you are allowed to wear that without being attacked, without being disrespected, without having things thrown at you. And the thing that really bothers me is this. Fine, California is a Democratic state. Most people vote Democrat, or used to at least, I guess. And the thing that really disgusts me is that there is a bit of an imbalance here. And what I'm saying is, if I went out with a hat that said Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Barack Obama, whatever, I don't think there would be as big an outrage as wearing a MAGA hat. Now, like I said, I know that California is like a blue state or whatever, but at the same time, it shouldn't really matter what kind of state you're in. Like, yes, maybe someone will come up to you and say, hey, like, I don't support Trump, blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe someone will engage in conversation with you. And while that might be annoying and you don't want to talk about it, you should feel safe enough to just be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about this, and go on your merry fucking way. Instead, here, it's like you were scared for your own safety. And I don't know, I just am so disgusted that that's kind of where we're at right now. And on top of all this, you shouldn't be violent towards anyone, but there was a guy literally stealing Blaire's boyfriend Joey's hat, and Blaire was trying to get it back, and he was like ripping it from her hands, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what is the purpose of this? Okay, so let's try and look at it this way. Let's say I was a Democrat. I was a liberal, okay? If I were a liberal and I went out and I saw someone wearing a pro-Trump hat, how would it work in my favor as a liberal person, and is like to the liberal movement, for me to go and rip their hat off from them and try and like either throw it or just take it away from them? What kind of message am I giving when I do that? Because in my point of view, the message that you're giving is that not only are you immature, but you're also making a very negative stereotype for your entire movement. And I know that that one person who ripped off Joey's hat isn't like the spokesperson for liberals, but at the same time, imagine if a conservative person had done that to a liberal. Can you imagine how the news would be right now? Can you imagine how it would be blown out of proportion and they'd say that this just shows that all conservatives are against free speech? You see what I'm saying? I think there's an imbalance because the way in which the media portrays conservatives and liberals is very, very skewed. And again, like I said before, it doesn't matter where you stand. The point is that there shouldn't be a kind of skewing away or another. There should be facts. The facts are this: no matter what kind of fucking hat you're wearing, what kind of t-shirt you're wearing, you should be allowed to go out and feel safe. Is this all that groundbreaking? Because honestly, by taking that hat, you're just reinforcing the dislike someone has for you. So let's say that Blaire doesn't like liberals, for example, or doesn't agree with liberals. If you take her hat and fucking assault her and throw something in her face, do you think that's gonna change your mind? Do you really think she's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's a really great point, let me just throw my MAGA hat away now? You know what I mean? That's the thing. I just don't understand what the ends of this are. And like I said before, this also relates to political correctness, because at the same time, everyone wants to be so politically correct and they don't want to offend people, and anything you say is offensive, and fucking metal detectors are racist. And all that's fine, right? Like that's what SJWs want. But when it comes to anyone of right-leaning or maybe even moderates, I don't know how they treat moderates, but anyone of right-leaning is a piece of shit by definition for them. And if we posted what happened to Blaire on Tumblr, do you know how people would react? Because I know exactly how people would react. People would be like, yes, good on the person who threw something at her, good, these people deserve to be assaulted. On Tumblr, they're forming this kind of notion that it's okay to assault someone, to harass them, to insult them, if they are on the right. And a lot of the right now, nice, is being conflated with a lot of extreme behaviors that I don't really think are representative of the right. And I think all of this plays into the fact that it's apparently okay to do this to Blaire and rip off her hat and throw something in her face, but if this were done to a liberal, it would be, you know, just like a huge fucking scandal. And I know I'm being a little bit long-winded here, but the fact is that I really do see this disparity, and I really have no words about this, because the reality is we should all feel free enough to say what we want to say and be able to be open about it. If Blaire, a woman with her boyfriend, can't walk down a fucking street in Hollywood without getting harassed because of political views, it just really makes me wonder, where are we at with our capability of having a conversation, with our capability of just being empathetic humans? And even in some of my last videos, you know, people are saying that incest is sometimes acceptable and adults are adults, and you know, we all have our choices, we all have our responsibilities, so forth. And the thing is, like, I see people being open about a lot of things, yet I still see immense closeness when it comes to considering political topics and talking about them without jumping down someone's throat. And granted, I'm the type of person that can get heated, there's no hiding that, but the reality is, if someone wanted to talk to Blaire and say, hey, can you tell me why you're pro-Trump? I don't see your point, like whatever. That's another story. If you want to talk about it, that's another story. Blaire could always just say, no, I don't want to talk about it, and walk away, and she's entitled to that. However, it is very different to do that than to go and fucking assault someone, right? I don't know, this whole thing has me fucking worked up, because it's just kind of like, we're always talking about how this is like the land of the free and everyone has their rights and free speech, but a lot of what's going on today is kind of going against that. And if people get so riled up over someone wearing a hat, it's just like, well, Jesus, where does it stop, you know? I mean, what if someone went out protesting pro-Trump? Does that mean that you're allowed to assault them then? You know what I mean? And again, like I was saying, political stance has nothing to do with this. It's just that there has to be a standard set up where we say that we are all going to mutually respect each other's opinions enough to not assault each other. You can disagree, you can disrespect the person if you want in your head, but that doesn't have to translate outside. That doesn't have to translate into assault. And by the way, the person who threw something in her face was cowardly and fucking ran away. What, like, do you really want to be that coward? Do we want that cowardliness associated with either sides of the political spectrum? No, because ideally we'd be able to discuss things. And it's fucking crazy to me that we're still at this point where we're kind of circling, like tiptoeing around things because of PC culture, you know, everything is too sensitive to be talked about, and yet we accept things like this. It's just, do you see what I'm talking about? Anyways, I'm sorry if this video was messy, but I did want to get my opinion out there because it was really fucking shitty what happened to her. I would very much suggest watching her video so you can get like the full context of everything. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.